Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Um, I'll be probably a little bit brief this morning, not because of the material. It's just that this is a kind of a strange day for me. And I guess this was always, or could have always been a possibility, but that's how these things work. So my mom's birthday would have been on Friday, the 8th. And 15 years ago today, she passed away. May 10th of 2005. And so, just as you just start to think that things can't get darker with all the COVID-19 stuff and quarantine and yada, yada, yada. And then everything conspires to sort of, and I don't feel like I'm being picked on and I'm not in any terrible bad place. It's just so amazingly strange and the timing of all this is just really weird. Here's the good side of it all. Yes, it was 15 years ago on this day that my mom passed away. But what's amazing is the gospel for today is the gospel that we use for her funeral, because it was so fitting for my mom. I think some of you have heard me say this before. My mom was incredibly clean, neat freak. Our house, we deep cleaned it twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And there was a joke among my cousins about when their parents would ask them to clean, they would say, do you want to clean? Excuse me, do you want it clean or do you want it Katie clean? Which there was a different level of cleanliness apparently. But yeah, my house, or growing up in our house, it was spotless and everything in order. She would not be happy with my housekeeping. So anyway, if you haven't read the gospel yet, I'm just going to read you a little piece of it. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You have faith in God, have faith also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If there were not, would I have told you that I'm going to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back again and take you to myself, so that where I am, you also may be." So what Jesus is using here, and I'm sure many of you have heard me say this many times because this is a popular funeral gospel, is that Jesus is using the cultural wedding understanding of how this works. A groom and the father of the bride would basically make a contract with each other that this wedding is going to take place. Remember, there wasn't dating 2,000 years ago. This isn't how it was done. So the more the fiddler on the roof before, the girls kind of retaliate. But so there was arranged type of weddings. And interestingly enough, when they were reaching their agreement, what they would do, the groom and the father of the bride would share a cup of wine, which of course we won't be doing it for a while, but that's one of the things that we do in our liturgical celebrations, and it's a reminder of that covenant and of what's happening. So after the groom and the father of the bride share that cup, then the groom goes away to prepare a place for his bride. And it could be a month, it could be 2 months, it could be 6 months, it could be 2 weeks, you don't know. Which is why there's also that imagery that Jesus used, that you have to stay awake and be ready because you do not know when the bridegroom is going to come. But he will. That we know, he will. Just as we know that Jesus will come for us when our time is ready and to take our residence in the room that he has prepared for us. So while this is a kind of a weird day for me, I take great solace in knowing that both my mom, my dad, my brother, my cousins who have passed away, uncles, aunts, grandparents, that Jesus has come for each and every one of them, and he has brought them to where he is. And I trust and know that one day he will come for me. And I hope I'm ready. But that's why we keep That's why we keep trying to stay awake, trying to stay on board. And in this very difficult time, I know it's harder, but we will someday be able to get back somehow and get to celebrate and participate in what where Jesus calls us to be. So happy Mother's Day out there to you all, and happy Grandmother's Day too, I guess. And we'll hope to see you sometime when we know it's safe. So might be a little while yet. Have a good day.